so calm out there. Don't you think, little cool? You look so calm out there. Hello, hello, hello. If you're watching on the replay, hello. Oh, I gotta put some lights on. It's starting to get colder and colder, which means, for me at least, it's soup season. I already made Italian wedding soup. That was really good. And now, today, we're gonna make some chili. So, I wanna make a sneaky veggie meat forward chili. And we're gonna do a little bit of like cooking in 2 pans kind of moment. So we're gonna have both of these pans in play. And actually, let me get some oil and the meat out of the fridge. Okay, okay, my instructions and put them here so I can see them. Okay, great. And then we're gonna take out the mountain of carne. It's gonna, all this carne is gonna go into our chili. So to maximize our time, we're going to, and our space, I want to get a bigger one of these, but I like to invest in my cooking pieces, and a new Staub pot is gonna run me a little bit, so we're gonna make it work with what we have. And so because I have the 5-quart Staub pot, and our total volume of all of our ingredients is gonna pretty much max it out, what I'm gonna do is take my bigger Staub, like como se dice, roasting pan or whatever you call this, and we're going to one by one take each of our meat and we're gonna brown it and then set it aside as we go. And then while our meat is browning, we can prep all of our veggies and get that going. And that way we're como se dice, multitasking. Como se dice? And so I even figured out step by step which one goes first and which one goes second and which one goes third. So let's get our pan going. Some heat going here. Let's get this one. Let's get some heat going here. Let's get a little bit of olive oil into our big pan. I hope everybody's having a good day. Monday, we're kicking off the week. So I figured today, instead of baking, although I might still bake something, who knows, if I'm feeling motivated, I might. I want to make another batch of the protein bars. They came out so good and I ate them all up. Well, I didn't eat all of them up. I shared half of them. Okay, but I figured for today, we could have like a cozy cooking day, and I'm trying to get into the habit of making batch meals that I can then freeze in portions. And that way, when I'm having a day that I'm feeling a little tired or overwhelmed, I can just pull a bag out of the freezer and I know that it's something that I made that's going to be super yummy and I can just heat up relatively quickly. Case in point, the Italian wedding soup that I made. This is the last of the frozen batch. It's still defrosting, but this will be lunch tomorrow. And then what I do is with this, I heat it up. I add the orzo pasta because I keep the orzo pasta out of it. I've learned I've made this enough times now. And to batch it and reheat it, it's actually better to not put all the orzo pasta in it. Anyways, I reheat it, I add the orzo, I add the spinach, and it's a great, fast, easy. Sometimes I even have it for breakfast during the winter because it's so yummy and comforting. And so today, that's our goal, is to make something that we can make a big batch of and then portion out and keep some in the fridge and then put the rest in the freezer. And that way we have yummy, nutritious food that we made waiting for us. Okay, so first, Julie Chen, but first. So our big mountain of meat that we're working with today, I got some mild Italian ground sausage already out of the casing. So that's great. A lot of our work is done there for us. So we're gonna brown this first. Then after we brown the sausage, we're going to add ground chicken into the pan, and we're going to brown that. And we're going to pull this out, brown the chicken. Yummy, right, Brian? Thank you. Yummy. And then last but not least, we'll brown our turkey. And so that's going to be the meat of our chili. But I like to call it a sneaky chili because I also want to try to put as many veggies into it to make it as nutritionally packed as possible. So we're going to have an onion, we're gonna have a bell pepper, we're gonna have some celery, we're gonna have some carrots, we're gonna have some garlic, we're gonna have some mushrooms. I don't even like mushrooms, but we're gonna cut them up nice and small and just sneak it in there because they're good for you. And then there's tomatoes, there's black beans, there's kidney beans, and then all of our yummy seasoning. And then I'm also doing my mom's trick. My mom puts beer in her chili, and I don't, for the last year and a half, I'm sober from alcohol, but, hello, hi, but it'll cook off the alcohol, but it does help add depth to the meat chili. My dog is trying to get my attention. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give my dog a little treat because she's trying. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hold on. See, she's right there. Give me, Papa. Let me just give her a treat. Give me 1 second. Good girl. Good job. Here you go, Itchy. There you go. Good job. Okay, thank you. Sorry. She's a sweet girl. She's very cute. She's very cute and very sweet. All right, so I can smell. Ooh, hello. I also have a very sensitive smoke alarm, so I gotta make sure I put the fan on. Okay, let's get this sausage going. I don't want to set off the smoke alarm. It's very sensitive, which I'm grateful for because, you know, once I had a candle burst on the counter and that flame started going and that fire alarm went off right away, and I was able to capture that fire right before it became like an actual fire. So I'm grateful. But here we go. This is too hot. Too hot. Let's turn that down. Ooh, this smells so good. Hell yeah. Dinner marbles, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, great. That's actually browning pretty quick. So let's grab our carrot, our mushroom, and our bell pepper. Okay. And I'm going to cut up the mushroom because those are easiest. So yeah, let's see so we can see. All right. Better sense of this. So what we're doing is just browning the meat right now and setting it aside. Ooh, this smells good. This is when you can get some aggression out. Very close, very close. But while this finishes, we're gonna take our beautiful little mushrooms, wash them really quick, and then keep an eye on the sausage. This is very close. Beautiful. This looks lovely. We have browned our sausage, and we're also starting to do some flavor layering because our meats are going to cook one after the other, and that flavor is going to layer one on top of the other beautifully. We're going to take our sausage out. Okay. Okay, great. So now we're going to work pretty quickly. And we're going to take our ground chicken and now we're going to brown it in there. So, take our little chicken package. Open it up. Keep the mess in the sink. Okay. Now, throw out the trash. Okay, Wash my hands. All right, so now let's break up our chicken.
Look at all those chickens.
Okay, let's cover this up a little bit. We're gonna let that chicken cook a little bit. I lowered it a little bit, so like I was starting to panic a little too much. Hi! Okay, so now I'm gonna take my beautiful mushrooms, and again, I'm not usually a fan of mushroom, but if I can find a way to sneak it into a recipe, because it's a texture thing. I just, like, I can't get past the texture, and it just, I can't do it. But I do like the flavor of it. I've learned over the years that I love the flavor of it. Or if it's cooked in certain ways, like there are like fancy mushrooms that I've had at like fancy restaurants that were prepared in a beautiful, beautiful way. These, what we're gonna do today is just take our baby Bella and just chop it up as almost as if it was ground meat. We're just gonna chop it up real small. Real small. Almost like it was sausage. Actually, let's go like this. How's everybody doing today? Sorry, I'm a little all over the place, but thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a good day. I'm trying to make this a cozy cook and hang, not a It was starting to get a little chaotic there, but it's because I'm trying to multitask. And sometimes that neurospicy brain loves a multitask, but in the kitchen it can get a little chaotic. And since we have sharp things and hot things, I figured let's take it down a notch. Let's take it down a beat and just not rush. It's better to be safe than sorry. So let's check on our chicken.
Look at all those chickens.
Our chicken is browning up nicely in that leftover fat from the sausage. And because I lowered the temperature now, it's not cooking up as fast, which is good. I don't want it to get burnt. Okay, great. I'm gonna bump up this heat a little bit. I'm gonna come back to these mushrooms. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to cut these. As you can see, I'm not used to cooking with mushroom because I'm like, how do I cut this? What's the best way to cut you, my friend? I think we got it. I think we figured out something. I just want it to be small enough that it just gets lost in the chili and I don't notice it in my mouth. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get raunchy, but listen to my podcast. That's what the podcast is for. That's where you can find out all the naughty things. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I think what we're gonna do is just give this one last rough little chopperoni. What's today, Monday? Oh gosh, I need to go vote. I need to vote tomorrow. If you're in California, make sure you vote. If you're in New York, make sure you vote. If you're in other places where your democratic process is allowing you a chance to have a voice. I mean, I do care what side you're on in terms of personally, but in terms of the democratic process, I technically don't care what side you're on. Just get out there and be engaged. But know what you're voting for. Woo! Shit, ow. That's my ancestors telling me to shut up. That's my ancestors telling me, okay, that's enough political talk. Be quiet, little girl. Did you see that? Ow. Okay, so we have our mushroom. Nice and roughly chopped. Now let's go check. What am I doing? Now let's go check on our chicken. Our ground chicken.
Look at all those chickens.
Oh yeah, we're looking pretty good under there. Oh yeah, I think this is ready to be set aside. Okay, great. Now we have this beautiful ground chicken.
Look at all those chickens.
Do you know what meme that is? I love that little girl.
Look at all those chickens.
And it's a field full of ducks. Ooh, I burned myself. Okay, let's take our beautiful cooked
Chicken.
and add it to our beautiful sausage that's already been browned.
Look at all those chickens.
All right, now last but not least, we have our ground turkey. So now take this, open the package, put the garbage in the sink. Put the garbage in the garbage. Now, let's break this up a little bit. Oops. think for the carrots, I think I'm gonna shred them. I think that's fun for chili. Don't think we want like carrot chunks. And that's why it's a sneaky chili, because we're sneaking in a lot of veggies. So let's take our carrot. What's the best way to grate a carrot? I guess like this. So be careful. Make sure you don't hurt yourself when you're dealing with sharp objects. Okay. Careful with your hands. Careful with your hands. Now that we're getting closer, I want to be really careful with my hands. We don't want to take off a finger. I've already had a few kitchen accidents. They're not fun. And then from this nub, what I can do is cut little pieces that I can give to my dog as treats. We're not going to cut all the way down because you're just asking to cut yourself. You're just asking for it at that point. So take a second carrot and get this baby down to a nub. Let's go check on our turkey. Again, be careful with your fingers. Hi. We're gonna get closer to our fingers and we're still gonna be careful. All right, getting close to the edge. And this will get turned into dog treats. Okay, one more. Okay. Save thing for dog treats. Okay, so now we're gonna take our beautiful carrot pieces and we're gonna set them aside. We're gonna check on our turkey. still cooking away. Okay. Beautiful. Let's take all this lovely carrot, put it in our carrot receptacle. Our carrot bucket. Okay. Okay. All these little bits can go away. All right. Now, let's check on our meat. Okay, we'll take our bell pepper. Take a green bell pepper. And I'm actually gonna prep it because I'm gonna pull out my veggie chopper because we don't need like super clean dice or anything like that. We just need a rough chop. So we're gonna pull out one of our little kitchen assistants to help us with that. But first, take all the little seeds out. Alright, that's one. And then one more. One. Let's check on our turkey. Our onion. Okay, we have half of our onion chopped up. Pour it out into a bowl. Carefully. Con mucho cuidado. Very carefully. Okay, cute. Now, we're going to take the other half of the onion, put the blade back in, put the other half of the onion in, snap this on, and just like that. And I like to go both ways, clockwise and counterclockwise. Okay, I think our meat is ready to come off of our pan. Before it does, okay, so we've got our protein parade. Has been on its tracks nicely. And I'm waiting for it to get just a little bit more brown. Just a touch more brown. Then we're gonna deglaze the pan. Okay, now it's time to bring this puppy back into play. I had it heating up empty with nothing in it. Okay, so now in our stove, medium heat, add olive oil, and we're going to put in our petit pois. So we need to finish prepping our veggies. So now we have the other half of the onion. Pull it out. Give it a container. This is gonna be so yummy. I'm so excited. What do you like to have your chili with? I feel like I need to make some cornbread. I don't know if I've ever made cornbread actually. I know my mom has made cornbread. I think I've helped my mom make cornbread. I think I've made cornbread with an ex of mine for like a Thanksgiving type thing, but I don't think I have made cornbread on my own. So I wonder. I like to have chili with chips. I like it with tortilla chips and corn chips. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But what do you like to eat your chili with? Buongiorno! Okay, we have our green pepper. Ooh, it smells very fresh. It smells like green pepper. If you've ever juiced a green pepper, it's a beautiful smell. It's very strong. Like I had a juicing phase, and I was juicing everything I could get my hands on, including peppers, bell peppers. And woo, it definitely added quite the flavor profile, but it was nice. Not too bad. All right, let's start tossing in our veggies into our stove pan. Let's turn this off. Let's drop this in. Let's drop this in. Let's drop this in. And then we need our blade. The rest of our bell pepper. Hush. Okay, great. Block this on. Okay. Nope, a little bit more. All right, beautiful. Just making a mess. We're making a mess today. Okay. So now we have a ton of veggies. You know what? I'm not even gonna put the celery in there because it's not gonna fit. We're gonna end up with an overflowing pan. So I'm actually gonna skip the celery this time because we still have a mushroom. So yeah, we're gonna skip the celery, but it's still a very veggie forward chili. We have onion, we have carrot, we have bell pepper, and we have mushroom. And then if need be, I can always toss in a bit of fresh spinach whenever I have it, just to boost our nutrients even more. I have a photo shoot at the end of this month, so I'm very nutrient and macro focused up until the 22nd of November. Well, actually no, till January, because I'm going to Puerto Rico for my birthday, so I want to look cute in a bikini too. Which is part of why we're doing our big meal prep today, to help me, because whenever I have batch food ready for me that I know that I made versus like ordering in, it helps me stay with my goals a lot better. All right, so we have our beautiful turkey, which was the last train car on our meat parade. So we're gonna add it to our meat bowl, scraping all these bits. Okay. Okay, great. So, our bowl full of meat. Our bowl full of meat. Okay, that's fine. As long as you give me credit. As long as you tell people who I am, that's fine. It's MeMeCherry. Tell them it's MeMeCherry. Okay, great. So, now we're going to take our beautiful veggies that are in our bowl and in our pot. We need to mix this around because we have a lot of veggies in here. And we need these to cook down a little bit for us. Because right now, there's barely any space for the meat. We might have to actually cook this in both pots now that I'm thinking about it. I do need a bigger one of these. You know what? I'm gonna put it on my Amazon wish list. If somebody wants to gift me a bigger pot, that would be great. Wow, now I'm just making a mess. You get out of here. Out of the kitchen. Out. Okay. So, our veggies are starting to cook down a little bit. Let me put some things away. I think it's time for some music. Let's put on some music. Like my mommy would say, it's time for some music in the kitchen. All right. Who's in the mood for Bad Bunny? Me. Okay, let's see. Music. Okay. We're gonna let our veggies cook down a little bit. And then I need to clean up a little bit because this is turning chaotic and I can't concentrate when it's chaos. But we need to get ready to add our beans and all of our tomato products. So we need those veggies to cook down. Huh? No, I'm not gonna be angry. I'm not an angry person. If you want somebody angry, you gotta go to somebody else's channel. That's not me. Okay. So, let me see. Okay, so what are we doing next? Oh, so I need to pull out, I need to deglaze that pan. I need half a cup. Puerto Rico. So now we're going to deglaze our pan a little bit with that clear. Scrape all those yummy bits off the bottom of our pan. And let the heat cook off some of that alcohol. I don't drink alcohol anymore, but I don't mind cooking with it as long as the alcohol cooks off, obviously. No judgment if you drink. It just was the best choice for me. All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're gonna take this. We're gonna set it aside. You wanna get all those yummy bits. That just made a mess. Okay. So now we're gonna save this for later. And now we're gonna take a second to clean up. Okay, great. So now my sink is full, which makes it hard for me to think. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna check on here. Once soft, add garlic and tomato paste. Okay, we're pretty soft. So we need some garlic. 4 cloves of garlic. This was a Christmas present from my mom a few years ago. Such a handy present. If you have somebody in your life that that cooks with garlic, this is like a great stocking stuffer, a great gift, especially now that the holiday season is coming. So it's basically this plate that has these little like kind of like pokey grooves in it, and then this rubber cylinder thing, and then a little brush. And so I'll show you. So the rubber cylinder thing helps you with the peel. So you put the garlic in there and you press down lightly and then you rub it, and it helps you pop the skin off. Sometimes you gotta do it a little bit more than once. There we go. See? Like that. And then you take your little garlic clove and you rub it on the plate. Like so. Ideally, you don't crush your garlic too much when you're rolling it. But then you end up with minced garlic, just like that. Isn't that cool? And then you waste very little garlic, because you can waste a lot of garlic trying to chop the little edges off to get the peel off. And this is just a great way to mince your garlic. So yeah, shout out mommy, if you're watching the replay, I love you. Wait. But you do have to be careful to not crush your garlic too much, because then it makes it harder to keep it on the plate. But see, just like that. You rub it. You rub it. You rub it. Until you end up with a little nub. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to work fast now. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. Gotta concentrate for a second, just because we have our ingredients going and we don't want to burn anything. We don't want to burn anything. Okay, see? Ta-da. Just like that. One more. Simmering solo y triste, soy culpable. So then you have your little plate full of garlic, and now with your little brush, you brush it off the plate. Just like that. See? Isn't that cool? Shout out mom. Okay, so we put our garlic in. Now we gotta open our can of tomato paste. Me enseñaste a bailar. And then we take our knife and we're gonna scrape every last bit of paste out of here. And then a trick, my mom, today's a mom shout out kind of day. Shout out mommy. You're in the kitchen in spirit today. So now we're gonna take our beer again, take a little bit of that, and use it to scrape down all of that beautiful tomato paste that's left into our can, because we want all of it. And again, a little bit of beer, my mommy says, helps bring all the flavors together in your chili. So we're gonna take just like that. We leave almost nothing left behind. All right. And then I'm gonna clean out the can a little bit before we put it into the recycling. And then whenever there's a raw metal edge, I like to take little toilet paper and just shove it in there so that that metal edge doesn't come out and bounce around when people are recycling. So, put that away. Okay, so now we gotta mix this up. Solo con usted, con usted, con usted. But the beautiful thing is our veggies are cooking down nicely. It looks like slaw, almost. Pero como tú ninguna. I'll take a tiny bit of this beer. Put it in there. Just to help that tomato paste loosen up a little bit more. Great. All right, beautiful. It smells so good in here. Okay, so let's see. We've added our olive oil, our onion, our celery, our bell pepper, our carrot. We don't have celery. We opted out. We have mushroom instead of celery. We're layering our flavors. We've added our garlic and our tomato paste. And then we need our spices. So we need chili powder, paprika, cumin, chili powder, paprika, cumin, chili powder, paprika, cumin, oregano, salt, pepper. I don't have oregano, but I have Puerto Rican adobo, so I'm going to substitute for that and that with the salt and the pepper. And then a little bit of cayenne. Great. So now let's measure these out. Okay, great. Let's see, 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder, 2.5 tablespoons, 2.5 tablespoons, okay. That's one, because we're not baking, we're just measuring with our hearts. 2. And eyeballs, we're not being super precise about it. If this was baking, I'd be leveling off and checking everything. But we're cooking, and so you can be a little bit more loosey-goosey with it. I like to say that baking is like classical music and cooking is like jazz. Okay, so our cayenne, let's just sprinkle it in there. Great. 1 tablespoon of paprika. If I can ever get this open. Beautiful. And then let's throw in some Puerto Rican adobo. It dries out on me a little bit, so I always have to poke it around and loosen it up. Okay, great. Great. We have our adobo, and then 2 teaspoons of cumin. Which I think is about how much I have left in here. Left over. Okay, put these away. So now we're going to toss these in here. We're going to get our spices blooming. Blooming like beautiful flowers, like the beautiful flowers that we all are. Okay. We gotta deal with dishes, but we also gotta make sure that we're sticking to our schedule. Okay, so let's mix this up. Wait. Oh yeah, now this is really smelling very fragrant. Now we're talking. Let's see, let's bring you over. This is how it's looking. How are you looking? How are you doing today? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so now crushed diced tomatoes, broth, and deglaze liquid. All right, so we have our yummy deglaze. We're gonna toss that in there. Okay, we're gonna mix this in. Now we need our diced tomatoes. And again, whenever there's like a raw metal edge like this, even if it's a waste, I like to take a little paper towel, I don't know, make sure you clean something, and then just stick it in there so that it doesn't cut somebody when they're throwing out the trash, when they're processing the trash. All right, so now we have our crushed tomatoes. Just like that. Take a little bit more of that beer again. Scrape our insides of the can. Get all that yumminess. Great. In our little can. And actually, we can now actually do a little nesting doll moment with our cans. Just like that. Okay, great. So now let's turn up the heat. Now this is looking really full. So we still have more things to add. And we're looking really full. I'm scared. Okay, let's go for one bean for now. One can of bean. Because I want my meat in there. Well, let's get the heat up going on this. Start putting in our meat. Because it still needs chicken stock. Yeah, we're almost full. I need a bigger pot. I need a bigger pot. We need a bigger bowl because we still need to add beans and stock. I think I went a little wild with the carrots. Great. I have this brodo broth that's been sitting in my cabinet. I ordered, they have like special flavored ones. I like drinking those. These aren't so fun to drink by themselves, so they've just been sitting in the cabinet, but this is a perfect time to use one. So we're gonna use our brodo heart bone broth, which is beef, chicken, and turkey. And we're gonna throw it in here. Just like so. And then we still need space for the beans. This will cook down, so we're gonna go for it. We're gonna I think it has just barely enough clearance to take the beans. So what we're gonna do is drain the beans. Let's drain the beans. Doesn't need all that liquid, but let's go ahead and sprinkle in these beans. Okay, perfect. Just enough space for our beans. Yep, we just barely made it. And I still have one more can of beans I want to add, but we're gonna wait. It's definitely very veggie forward. All right. I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna put this on medium. I'm gonna cover it, leaving it slightly cracked. And then I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let it cook down. We're gonna let this cook down. I think it'll cook down enough that in about 30 minutes we should be able to add in our second can of beans. So I'm gonna put a timer in for 15 minutes. While that does that, let's do a little bit of cleanup. Cause why not? Cause why not? But yeah, it's gonna have to sit and do its thing for a while. Here, thank you, Benito. Shout out Bad Bunny. I'm trying to manifest. Okay, so there's a few things I'm trying to manifest right now. Bad Bunny is a guest on my podcast, so I'm just putting that out there. Series of Fortunate Events. Benito, you and Ariana Grande and Trisha Paytas are on my list of dream guests that I want to manifest. Second, the Super Bowl this year is in my backyard. It's in the Bay Area, and Bad Bunny is performing. I am in the running for a beautiful, amazing contest, Fab Over 40. And part of the winning package is cash. And so I've pledged to donate some of it to the organization that my best friend founded. But the rest of it, I'm going to reinvest into my production of this YouTube channel and some short movies that I'm dreaming up that I want to shoot and edit and put out next year. But if I win the Fab 40 contest, I'm getting tickets to the Super Bowl and we're making content about the entire weekend. So you'll get to come along with me on the experience. So feel free to check out my Instagram, MeMeCherry IG. The bookmarked link on my profile is the voting. Voting goes till the end of the year. There's rounds. But right now I'm making it to the top 10, I believe is the next level. So please, if you can vote for free if you have a Facebook account. They also take donations for breast cancer research, and those count as votes too. So feel free to give me a little bit of support. I really appreciate it. Okay, so what's the plan for the rest of the week? So for today, I'm gonna clean up the kitchen because I just made a little bit of a mess. Let's see, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. Time for my doggy's dinner. No wonder she's bothering me. So I think the chili is gonna be our kitchen adventuring for today. There you go, baby. Hold on. I gotta give you some more food. Hold on, little girl. Watch out. Excuse me. Watch out. Hold on. You gotta wait. So the plan is for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do another episode of Baking for My Future Boyfriend. So we're going to be working on protein bars tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, watch out, baby, watch out, watch out, watch out. We'll probably do another protein bar recipe. And then Thursday, we will start. So tomorrow is the birthday of one of my dear friends, superstar DJ Charles Hawthorne, and they're throwing a party this weekend. So I'm baking a cake to bring to that party. So the plan for this week is tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be doing raspberry pistachio protein bars. Wednesday, it'll either be another protein bar recipe that I'm working on or protein brownie bites. So that'll be Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday and Saturday will be different portions of baking for my bestie. So I think Thursday will work on, you know what? No, I think Thursday, maybe I'll try to prep. Maybe Thursday will be another cozy cooking day. Because I think for the cake, the better timeline is to bake the cake on Friday, let it chill overnight for Saturday, and then Saturday, our baking Saturday morning, can be making the frosting, prepping the strawberries, and then layering the cake. And then I can just let it rest in the fridge for the rest of the day on Saturday, so I can take it to the party Saturday night. So I think that's the plan for this week for content. So again, tomorrow, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be baking for my future boyfriend. So protein bars and protein brownie bites. Then Thursday, I think what I'm going to try to do is make another batch meal. So like another cozy cooking day, maybe another soup or something like that I can freeze and prep for future eating. And then Friday and Saturday, we'll be baking for my bestie. And we're going to be making a vanilla cloud cake. I might make a strawberry one also, and then do layers of vanilla and strawberry. And then we're going to do a whipped cream white chocolate ganache frosting, but more whipped cream forward. But I do want to stabilize it a little bit with white chocolate. And then strawberries, fresh strawberries. We're going to slice them and arrange them beautifully on our cake. And then, because I'm taking it to a disco party, we're going to decorate the cake with disco balls. So this is going to be Saturday. So if you want to hang out on Saturday, what should you do? Hit that subscribe button, baby, because it's one of the few free things we have in this economy. And you know what? I like to bring you some wholesome, cozy, nice, positive content, and sometimes a dog. All right, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to leave the camera on just while I clean up, but I'm not going to be offended if you guys don't want to hang out and watch me clean up. But I know that some people like kitchen ASMR sounds, so I'm going to leave the camera running while I clean. And then once I finish cleaning, we'll sign off for today. So if you're done hanging out with me, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a great tomorrow. Thank you. Hugs, 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 kisses. The other little heart. So for now, enjoy some cleaning ASMR if that's your thing. And if it's not your thing, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And if I don't see you again, I hope you have a great life. I'm going to sign that off again a little bit later, but in case you leave now, that's okay. It's okay. I'm going to let you go. You can go if you need to. I get it. All right, so what we're going to do is finish cleaning out, making space on our drying rack. so that we can pull things out of the dishwasher so that we can then load said dishwasher. Whee! Ah. And actually, if you're still hanging out, I am curious. Feel free to let me know in the chat what it is about cozy, kind of like live cook and hangs and bake and hangs. What is it that you like about it? Just so that I can make sure to lean into what you guys like and bring you more of it. Do you like watching somebody cook? Do you like learning about new recipes so that you can get inspired to cook? Is it something that like, oh, I had a theory. I was telling my mom, my theory is that some people, it's reminiscent of like hanging out in the kitchen while like a family member cooks, and that like you don't necessarily help, you don't even necessarily care about what they're cooking, but you're just hanging out in the kitchen because it's kind of like a cozy home, a cozy part of the home. And so I'm convinced that part of the draw of watching somebody like me just kind of like casually hang out in their kitchen is that you get that kind of like cozy familial feeling. Like, you know, when you go home for the holidays and you haven't seen your auntie in a while and you just hang out in the kitchen watching her cook because it's nice watching somebody just move around their space. I'm so curious. What is it? Like what draws you to content like this? I'm very curious. Curious. All right. Our chili is simmering. It's so close to the top. I don't want it to boil, but I don't want it to just sit there either because we do want it to cook off a little bit. So I think what we're gonna do is put this back on, and I think we're gonna raise that heat just a touch. All right, we have our cake leveler. Oh, one of the best purchases I did, you can't really see it, one of the best purchases this year, I tried leveling cakes with knives. If you're one of those people that can do it, kudos to you. I can't, but this handy dandy tool, super handy for making level and even cakes. Highly recommend it. I don't like many single use tools. I like to avoid them as much as possible, but that one is totally worth it. Spring fries, rinsing. Beautiful, this is clean. I'm in an older apartment and I rent, so my dishwasher is a little bit of an older dishwasher, so sometimes things have to run through them twice. So I like to take a look at everything and like, oh, does this just need a little rinse or does it need to go through the dishwasher again? So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is just taking a look like, okay, everything's clean. Cute. These were also great. I got these on sale. Le Creuset, I think they're pasta plates. So cute, so functional, so simple, on sale. Highly recommend them. I usually get my my Staub. I have Staub. My Staub items on sale through like Sur La Table or Amazon. Or Home Goods. Home Goods has some Le Creuset pots at a pretty good price right now if you can get to them. And Sur La Table has a sale going on right now. So I'm very tempted, but I have a lot of things going on, and so I can't let myself get tempted to buy a 7-quart, because today's lesson is that this boat might not be big enough. So I think it might be worth it this year to invest in the 7-quart one, but It's a want, not a need. And right now I have other things that I need to get ready for. I have a photo shoot scheduled, so I need to get my outfits for that. I'm getting a wig made for that, so I need to pay for my wig. I need to pay my photographer. I need to pay my creative director, who's my best friend, but still, everybody on my set gets paid. So I gotta pay them. I need to spend some time practicing the makeup. For this photo shoot, I always have like a mood board or some kind of idea in mind that we want to bring to life with these photo shoots. So the mood board for this photo shoot is Sabrina Carpenter. I want to recreate her album cover where she's like on her knees and her hair is being pulled. And then she has a Rolling Stone cover where she has like a 40-inch wig and some knee-high stockings, and like that's pretty much all she's wearing. So I want to recreate that picture. So one of my amazing talented friends who's a wigologist, I sent them the picture. They said that they can make that wig for me. So I'm getting another custom wig made. I've had a couple of custom wigs made before, but this should be a fun one. It'll be fun to have a 40-inch bust-down blonde wig to pull out every once in a while and be like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? So yeah, so I say all that to say that even though it'd be lovely to invest in a bigger pot, I don't need it. As you can see, we were able to make it work today. It's a tiny bit of a struggle bus. I still got to figure out how we're going to get this second can of beans in there, but we're going to do it somehow. But for now, we just clean up, because that's all we can do right now, is clean up a little bit. I'm also trying to get better about, I think it's because because dishes were my chore when I was little. I'm not good about dishes. And I'm trying to get better about not leaving a sink full of dishes at night. I read that it's bad feng shui. So I need all the goodness I can take in this world. So if it's bad feng shui to leave dirty dishes in the sink, I'm gonna try to stop doing that. Because that's something I can control. So we're gonna take, oh, let me see so you can see me. All right, so back to just ASMR cleaning. A little ASMR cleaning for the girls. Ooh, are any of you up on Girl World? I've been debating if I want to record reactions to Girl World, but it's wild over there. Like, talk about, whoa. Like, it feels like an interesting sorority, question mark, because it feels like everybody's hazing each other and everybody's collecting dirt on each other to use against the other one whenever they see fit. And I've never been in a sorority or a fraternity, but to me it feels like very that coded. So yeah, Girl World is a mess right now. A mess. Gotta be careful, especially when you're out here offering people money. Can't offer people money in exchange for things and then change your mind when you get said things that you offered money for. No bueno. All right, this is cooking down somewhat, so let's put this lid back on, turn up the heat a little bit, and let's keep cleaning up. Keep cleaning up. But yeah, that's why, like, tempting, right? Because like the numbers speak for themselves. Like there's a reason why reaction channels keep popping up and they're so popular. It's because they get a lot of views. But I think we live in a world where it's very easy to be mean. We live in a world that already is mean to us. Like the world is mean. You know, nature is like, you know, kind of like aggressive sometimes. And the state of the world can be so aggressive sometimes. And so, for as tempting as it can be to like hop in the mud and probably like triple my subscribers in the half the time that it takes me to do it with baking, like, I don't know, I would feel kind of icky just talking shit about people. Like, I don't know, like energy begets energy. And like, if you're the kind of person that spends your time and your energy talking bad about people, researching them, talking to their exes, like I get that some of these people are not nice people, but like, you know what you do is you stop paying attention to them. You snuff them out that way. You don't like give them a bunch of attention. Thank you. Nice to see you. Hi, hello. So you've made it to the portion of the programming where I'm cleaning up. We have our chili here on the stove top, simmering away. We're gonna check on it again. And I'm just kind of yapping right now. Great. This is cooking down beautifully. So we're gonna go ahead and put our cover back on. Cover girl, put your base, let me get some paper towels. Oh no, actually no, I have clean towels. I did the laundry today. So I have kitchen towels. Yay! We have towels for cleaning. I don't need paper towels today. We have proper towels. Okay. So then, this can be put away. All right, let's keep cleaning. So anyways, I'm just yapping. But yeah, that's why I like to try to be positive. I feel like there's enough corners of the internet that if you want to be snarky, and don't get me wrong, I like snark. I like consuming snark just as much as the next person. Like I do watch reaction channels. Like shout out Sansa Cooks. Sansa Cooks actually helped me get inspired to get my fitness in line, and I actually lost a bunch of weight in the last few years, partly inspired by Girl World because I didn't want to be in denial like I saw them being, and I realized that I had put myself into such a bad place that I didn't realize I had gained so much weight and it didn't feel good. And so I quit drinking alcohol. I joined a gym. I started working out. I started watching what I eat. I lost about 50 pounds. Then I stopped tracking my macros. And I started hitting the weights pretty intense. So got another 15 of like muscle and just kind of like not tracking my weight. So now I'm back to, because I have my photo shoot, I have a nice external goal outside of myself to start tracking my macros again. So that's part of this week's goal, is to slowly but surely get myself back into dedicated fitness mode, which is tracking my macros every day, which is so hard, but I have an app that helps me and like a little device that helps me, the Lumen device. and making sure that I'm working out consistently, which I'm pretty good at. It's just that like I go through seasons. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. Lately I've just been not motivated, but I need to get motivated again. But anyways, okay, we've reached the point of our broadcast where things are gonna get loud again, and it'll just be me yelling over the dishwasher, which I don't think anybody wants. So I think this is when we take a minute to say thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Again, I'm MeMeCherry. I like to go live. Lately, I've been going live almost every day, and my goal is that in November, I'm going to be going live almost every day to then ramp up to December, where we're going to do Bakemas. And the idea is that every week in December, we're going to have a theme, and we're going to have baking days, prepping days, designing days, but we're going to be going live every single day in December. So make sure you hit subscribe if you want to hang out with me in the future. And if you don't, if this is the last time that I'm seeing your lovely face or you're seeing my lovely face, I really do hope that you have a wonderful life. Hug your loved ones. Take care of each other. Now more than ever, we need community. So look out for each other. Okay? Do what you can. Do your part. All right? Mimi loves you. Bye.